Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's Rex on the road with our Sonoma County Wine of the Week, and we know Jack Wine. That's where we are today.
Welcome.
Welcome. It's great to have you here. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. We've been hanging out for the past hour or so, just chit-chatting away. And I said, hey, we better start recording here. And we know Jack Wine. How did that come about? I love the name.
Well, yeah. So
You can't edit this, right?
Yes, editing is a wonderful thing.
well edited.
Okay.
So, as I said the other day, it's certainly not French. And it came about because we took off, we're from the East Coast.
Right.
And on a moment's notice, we flew out here, kind of threw our neighbor in a little bit of a tizzy, like, what the heck's going on?
Sure.
So we came out and we met with the owner, Jack Florence Sr., and Jack had lived here for 20 years. Mm-hmm. He and his son developed this vineyard. His son's a vineyard manager who has his own vineyards, and they helped establish Rockpile. Mm-hmm. And so we chatted with Jack Sr. for a few hours. He wanted to make sure that we were perhaps the right person to take over his legacy.
Sure.
And my job was to convince him that I was, and actually mean it.
Right. But you're a doctor. You're a doctor.
Trust me.
And so you know how to be good to people.
Well, I'm a pathologist.
And so the thing is, I think, is we know Jack Wine kind of has to do with your background not being heavily wine experienced, I guess I could say, right?
Well, we were good wine drinkers,
Right.
but that was the extent of it.
We're talking about the wine making, though, okay?
The wine making, wine growing, that had eluded us so far. So we get back to the East Coast, and we're having dinner with our neighbors Tommy and Rosa, and we're a few glasses into it, and finally Tommy was ready to ask me the big question: where the hell were we for 48 hours, and why did we go to California?
Right.
So I said, Tommy, I think we're buying a vineyard. And Tommy stared at me, and there was a long pause, and he said, so what the hell does a Boston pathologist know about growing grapes, Mark? And I didn't consider that question quite fully, and I didn't think he was going to ask it. So I was a little dumbfounded, so I paused for a bit, and what came out of my mouth was, we know Jack.
Right.
Jack Sr. was going to mentor us, Jack Jr. Was going to mentor us, and so that was what I said. So the next day, Laurie said, hey, if we ever have a wine label, I think it's going to be what you said last night.
Wow.
And I said, well,
What did I say?
I don't recall.
I have no recollection.
I said, we know Jack because we do.
Right. Well, it's Jack's.
Jack's.
Yeah.
Triple entendre.
Yeah.
So that's
There
what
you go.
happened.
Well, I mean, that's great. Now we're in the Rockpile AVA in Sonoma County, which is right next to Lake Sonoma. And so tell us about the Rockpile AVA and kind of what that means when you're talking wine of Sonoma County.
Sure. So the first commercial grapevines that I recall that were planted, then became Rockpile, was all the way down at the end by Rod Park and his wife Kathy, back in the early 90s. Then they began to develop this region, and there was about 11 properties. So Jack Jr. it was time for him to settle down, and he came up here and he saw grasslands and redwoods, and he knew that was great soil for a vineyard. And so he started planting in the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
And then his father came up here, and in 2002, they got approved by the federal government for Rockpile AVA because it was a unique climate, unique soil, unique flavor profile, and history goes to that as well.
Okay.
So they, along with the Morrisons and the Parks, petitioned the government to form Rockpile AVA.
Right, and you were saying earlier that Dry Creek is like 2 houses down.
Yeah, we're still in Dry Creek here.
Oh, wow.
So we're in the elevated portions of Dry Creek. Dry Creek, most people think of the valley, but
Right.
it's on both sides, East Bench and
Right.
into the Western Mountains, and it comes this far
Right.
down, right below us, Lake Sonoma wasn't a lake always. It was
Right.
the upper extension of Dry Creek.
Ah.
So this is the Dry Creek section of Lake Sonoma.
Right, right. And now you guys sit up high. I mean, you can see the mountain ranges all around.
right.
How high do you sit up?
Well, I'm only 5'3", so I don't sit up so far.
You don't sit up.
This is as tall as, yeah, this
I
is
take
as
that
tall
back.
as
I
it gets.
I take that back. I take that back. It's not high at all. It's only about 5'3". That's great. That's great. So I love that. I love that.
So Rock Pile is one of maybe 5 AVAs in this country that altitude is part of the definition.
Okay.
So it's 800 feet for Rock Pile.
Okay.
This house that we're taking the picture in is at 1,000 feet.
Oh, wow.
In the vineyard, the top of the vineyard is about 1,300 feet.
So it's not as high as it seems, because I'm looking here and it's like, wow, that it just feels like you're sitting up so high.
Yeah.
And I want to take some shots later on the patio, because it is a tremendous view of Lake Sonoma, if we can say that legally. I don't even know.
Well,
if
we
can
just
say
don't
that.
put it on a label.
Okay, we can't. The federal government has some issues with saying Lake Sonoma, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't like overlooking. That word was just blew them away. They don't like overlooking.
Can you say near to Lake Sonoma? I mean, I don't know.
We'll have to compare the labels, how they had to transform itself.
Translate into a foreign language.
Yeah, don't say anything that you can't back up, Mark.
Yeah, and we overlook Pritchett's Peak. So when you take
Right.
photos of the mountains, that's Pritchett Peak right
Right there, right in front of us
Yeah,
here.
and the geysers, and then Mount St. Helena.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible
The view
view
is
here.
spectacular.
Yeah, I absolutely love it when I got here, because I got here and I couldn't tell if you guys were here yet. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Once you
And-
get down the treacherous driveway.
Yeah, it reminds me.
Rex said gave him.
Yeah, it reminds me of my great-great-grandfather had the biggest pack train in California up north. And there was a place where he packed into called Jackass Springs. And that
another
road,
Jack.
and that road reminded me of Jackass Springs. And I was like, okay,
in the right
I'm a
place.
McNeil. I've been in this kind of country before. I can handle this. And so we drove right on down. So there you go. There you go. So let's talk about We Know Jack wines. How many varietals do you guys make?
Well, we have the Rock Pile, Riff Raff, Zinfandel.
Okay.
So we have a couple vintages, and this year, 2023, we started with Rosé, but it's also made from Zinfandel. So I guess we're up to one varietal.
Okay. All right.
But, however,
But you know Jack.
I know Jack. I know Jack. But stay tuned, because in 2025 we're releasing our 2023 Syrah.
Okay.
And,
we'll hang on for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of Petit Syrah in every Zinfandel. It
I
kind
like
of
that. I like that.
smooths it out, gives it a nice, elegant, rounded
Right.
flavor. Yeah.
Well, can we take a taste of this?
absolutely.
This is the Zinfandel?
This is
is
the
Zinfandel?
2021 Rock Pile Zinfandel.
Rock Pile Zinfandel.
And this puppy got 94 points on Wine Enthusiast. This is our first vintage.
Oh, wow.
And the winemaker is James McPhail, who's
Right.
just he was nominated for Wine Enthusiast Winemaker of the Year this year.
Right. That's
Outstanding
incredible.
winemaker.
Your sister-in-law will be impressed.
Yes, she will. Yeah. We were telling a story about my sister-in-law. I know she'll never see this video, so we don't have to worry about that. And she was, I wouldn't say a wine snob, but a wine enthusiast. And her brother-in-law starts going to wineries and doing video. And she was at her house, and we uncorked a bottle of wine. And she said, that is the best bottle of wine that I've ever had. I said, well, we do go to some good places. We're lucky. We're blessed to do that. And so now she, I think, is only paying attention to the videos to see what wine we do have. So
What you're bringing.
what are you bringing to Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter?
Does
What
it
are you
pair?
bringing? Yeah.
Rosé goes great with turkey.
Right.
And ham.
And ham. And our Zinfandel is absolutely amazing with roast pork and anything
Any
barbecued. Any meat. It's delicious.
Now, Rockpile, this is a great drive up here. It's really picturesque, and you're in the mountains of Dry Creek, kind of, and then we get to Rockpile. How do folks visit? How do they make plans to visit you? Because this is worth the trip. Let me just say that.
Well, nobody ever says we were in the neighborhood, so we can stop by. So they're bullshitting you. Right? They're saying.
Oh, we just saw you.
And we have locked gates, but
They almost didn't let me in, but finally I figured out some code and we got through.
We're having too much fun.
Well, that's what it's all about. Wine should be fun.
Yeah,
Glad you mentioned
absolutely.
that, yeah.
yeah, we
That's
can
what it's all about.
We can do
It's-
tastings at.
It's fun. It's social.
Yeah, our winemaker has a tasting room.
Oh, okay.
That's on Magnolia Drive
Okay.
in Healdsburg, so we can arrange to do a tasting there. And if anyone, is
Right.
interested in our wine, we can
Sure.
just schedule
Right.
a meet and greet.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah, I would love to visit the tasting room in Healdsburg if there's ever the opportunity to do that. And I mean, this Zinfandel is incredible. I'm a big Zinfandel fan.
Oh,
I'm a
good.
big Petite fan. Pinot, obviously. I think you have to be Pinot, or they don't even let you into Sonoma County.
No, that's definitely.
Show your Pinot ID as you cross the
county line. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or they just send you back to Napa. Back to Napa you go.
Well, they have great Pinot there, but it's grown here.
Right. So, if you want to get into the county, you have to have your Pinot card. I like to
Exactly.
think. Yeah. And stuff. But the view is terrific. The wines are terrific. A 94 for this.
Yes.
And our 21 got a 96. And our rosé was in a rosé competition and got a
Double
95.
gold and a
double gold and a 95.
Wow.
So not bad for right out of the gate.
No. And you guys have been going for how long?
Well, we were supposed to start in 2020, but
Okay.
the big wall bridge fire
Ah.
came within a mile of the upper part of our
Oh, wow.
vineyard.
Oh, wow.
So with smoke taint, the entire vineyard was wiped out. So no 2020, and 2021 is our first. And
Wow.
our first release was
23.
maybe 18 months ago. That's
Wow.
when it all
Wow.
started, that we're actually out there.
Now, this is a question I had for another winery that we visited, and it's early in your history as wine growers, as winemakers. How do you get that kind of attention? Is it because the winemaker that you have is so well known in the industry that kind of helps, or how does that
That
work?
certainly helped, but I think Rockpile, first of all, it has become very well known. To just give you a little historical fact that the 2023 Rosenblum Rockpile Road, this vineyard, Jack Jr.'s vineyard, and the vineyard directly across the street from us went into that wine. And in 2005, Wine Spectator's #3 wine in the world. So suddenly Rockpile just made a big splash.
Right. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
And the fruit is highly sought after, and so that's a good start. So start with a good fruit, good vineyard, historic vineyard, and get your rock star winemaker. James started in Zinfandel. He's been known for the last, 20 years for a Pinot guy.
Right.
And
right.
Chardonnay.
And Chardonnay.
But we reached out to him. He has a custom crush place in Healdsburg, but he had McPhail family wines that he sold to the Hess collection, and just recently bought that back.
Oh, okay.
But he also makes his wines, which are high 90s, tongue dancer wines.
Right.
And he does the San Giacomo wines.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's working with the Calling. He's the winemaker for that, along with Jim Nance, the sportscaster.
Oh, yeah.
And a large winery importer in the United States. And so James is out there and doing great things. So,
And he's working with you guys. And you guys, I mean, immediately as I showed up, I felt like I was visiting neighbors that I just hadn't seen in a while. Just very welcoming, very, we never know because, some people are a little more reserved, and that's fine. But just incredibly friendly and incredibly welcoming and incredibly fun, not taking it too serious, but knowing that, that it's a craft is involved.
Well, we wanted you to speak nicely about it.
So it's amazing on video. It looks so good. Well, cheers.
Cheers. It's great to meet you.
Great
Great to have you in our house.
Yeah.
Great to share a glass of wine.
great times and
back
great
if
new
you want.
friends.
Yeah.
Yes, we would love to. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm a
job,
really
Larry,
good. I'm a really good cook too.
Oh boy, I might stay for dinner.
Good. Won't have leftovers.
Oh, this Zinfandel is incredible. Oh, that just seems like it would pair so well with Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Well, we
Does go good
this
with
is on the
great
wine,
with turkey, smoked turkey.
It does.
Ham.
it's on the wine list at Dry Creek Kitchen, and we did a lot. Well, James invited us to do part of the Three Valley food and wine series. So they created a menu to go along with his wines, Tongue Dancer wines, and he asked if we would be part of that. So they paired our We Know Jack, the 2021, with a Lamb Wellington, and it was to die for. Wow. So there you go.
The wine is to die
Yeah,
for by
I know.
itself. So I can only imagine. This got a 94 in Wine Enthusiast, right?
Right.
And that's incredible. That's
Right.
an incredible high mark to achieve so early in your guys' history.
Yeah,
right?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then the 22 got 96 points. So
Wow.
Sean Ludford
Sean
Okay.
was the
Ludford,
reviewer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, cheers. We're going to
Cheers.
check out outside because you're going to want to see this. It is an incredible view. And we're going to show you a couple more wines if we're allowed. And we'll go outside and show you what you're missing. We Know Jack, or We Jack. I can change the name. We Know Jack. Wine.
Abbreviated.
We Jack. That's your guys' next brand, I think, right? We Jack.
We Jack, hi Jack.
Jack and S.
Springs. Yes,
Oh, Springs.
yeah. That's okay. That's all right.
That's
Thank
a
you.
Martinelli Vineyard.
Yeah.
Stockyard Hill.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah. They pointed me in that direction when I was there. I don't know what that means, but all right, we're going to have some more wine fun. It's Rex on the Road with our Sonoma County Wine of the Week. And we are in Rockpile. Cheers.
Cheers.
This Zinfandel is absolutely terrific. I'm going to have to take another sip.
Okay.
I'll send you home with a bottle.
Oh, I like
Maybe
that.
two for your sister.
I like, yeah. Yeah, I got to be careful because if I just get one bottle, it will madly disappear.
That's what happens.
I'm no wine judge, but that is terrific. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Thank you so
You
much.
can taste the goodness.
Goodness.